This is Gachiakuta's secret villain, a psychopath guaranteed to break the internet when he's revealed in the anime. He kidnaps and murders, tortures the main character, but the worst part is that nobody knows how vile he is yet. In the world of Gachiakuta, he's a complete mystery. This secret mastermind is none other than Tamsy Cain, and he first appears in chapter 25 when Rudo is dispatched on a new mission. Our main man Tamzy appears in the group of new cleaners and stops Delman from overwhelming Rudo, looking down at him stating he likes people with passion, his face housing the kindest expression possible. Yeah, great introduction. He has really cool hair, an amazing sense of style, and some badass scars. By all definitions, a good guy. But the truth is, nobody knows he's a villain yet. Matter of fact, it's not for about 50 chapters we learn this secret truth ourselves. But for now, he joins them as they explore Canvas Town. He pretty much remains in the background and only really speaks to Rudo. He doesn't even play much of a role till they find Amo. Here, after the group is ambushed by her power, it's Tamsy's turn to fight. Him donning his mask, which looks really cool. Tamzy also is the focus, as it's stated. Memories with the loved one aren't always happy. Remember that line and just remember how it made sure to focus on him. Amo then places everyone under her control and Tamzy realizes he'll let the fight his friends, brandishing a uniquely top staff. Vital instrument, Tokushin. They dash towards Tamzy as he spins and unravels the top of his staff, calling this attack Net, which covers the whole room in these ropes and stops everyone in place. He notes how he's weaved the ropes in a way that if someone moves, they'll be further tangled. Tamzy explains his vital instrument as a distaff, a tool that is used to wind thread, him then spooling everyone into a huge rope ball, as well as capturing Amo easily. There's something to say that for a character later down the line revealed to be a villain, his first notable thing he does is friendly fire. Attacking his own teammates, even if they are mind controlled, is a pretty big introduction. The fact that there was no hesitation was a very big hint that this guy might have been very bad. It was in front of our faces the entire time. But Amo isn't very happy to be caught. Her shrieking in rage as Tamzy realizes he'll need to up the ante. He takes his staff and taps the ground, the spool of rope rapidly unraveling as it's sent straight through the tower. With its impact on the ground, he looks down, everyone appearing dead. Yet he remarks to Zanka, they had spells drawn on them to prevent one fatal blow. Yeah, not only is Tamzy's power quick and destructive, but he has a really good mind to go with it. I wouldn't want to fight him. Now here we have to get a bit off topic. Trust me please, while this might seem random at first, I promise it'll all connect back to Tamzy. The first thing to note is that as Rudo begins to hit Amo, which is a whole different conversation in itself, we see Sumiyu note something inside of him, something implied to be very dark. Rudo has this sort of darkness constantly growing inside of him. The other thing to note is Amo's backstory. One day in her abusive situation, a person entered the tower, beat her abuser, took their boots, and gifted them to Amo. The person told her to use them with love before jumping into the sky, appearing as an angel to Amo before they disappeared. These boots became very important to her. They changed her, gave her a purpose, and it wasn't till months later where Amo seen a glimpse of the angel far off, yet still she'd never seen him again. She then met the cleaners, the battle we just seen happened, and as we left, Amo returns to the tower, where we then see a strange being, one kinda similar to the angel, kidnapping her. Remember all of this for me, as we can now return to Tamzy nearly 50 chapters into the future, meaning our star of this video has been missing for a while. What has he been up to? Well, we return to him in a chapter called Tamzy's Day Off. He opens his eyes and quickly turns on the radio, dancing to soothing music before switching it to heavy metal. He's kinda all over the place, but once he adjusts and puts his hair up, he's back to Tamzy. He walks out of his room to find Rudo, who's been hard at work searching for information pertaining to Amo's whereabouts, who's still missing after being kidnapped 50 chapters later. Upon hearing of Rudo's plans, Tamzy smoothly smiles his way, wishing he's able to find his friend. What a kind guy. He then states to the rest of the cleaners he's gonna go into town, which prompts Sumiyu to ask for some kind of magazine, and he responds saying, "You're not asking for porn magazines," which kinda implies that's exactly what she's asking for. Yeah, it's only through Tamzy we know Sumiyu might have some strange interests. Tamzy roller skates into town, ignoring a fight he can easily break up before buying a cake, finally ending up in some strange ruins of a destroyed building. Tamzy then descends a flight of stairs and arrives before a jail cell, commenting on how roller skates are hard to use. They don't let him use them up top. What could that mean? He then looks to the person in the cell, revealed to be none other than Amo. He pulls out the cake. It's an apology as he can't free her yet. But then he eats it right in front of her, a crazed expression as he consumes it whole. No care for her cries and screams of agony. So not only has Tamzy known where Amo was as Rudo searched for her, but he got in his face and wished him well when it came to finding her. Also, up to now we've been getting glimpses here and there of Amo wishing for cake. This poor girl, after having every hardship in life, being abused in every type of way, has finally found a light before she was kidnapped and held here. And now, in this horrible situation, all she wants is a simple piece of cake. It's her only wish, and Tamzy seemingly grants it, just for him to consume it whole right in front of her, even saying, "I think I'll have some tomorrow too." Yeah, what a day off. Tamzy has been revealed as the villain. I'm gonna say that's putting it lightly. This dude is pure evil, villain who kidnapped Amo. But nobody but us, the reader, have any idea of this. This makes it all the more heartbreaking when Rudo finally discovers where Amo is. And guess who just happens to meet him as he closes in on the location? Tamzy, the one who wished him well on finding her. He continues his calm charade, stating another familiar face will help soothe Amo, even offering to head into the labyrinth first. Of course though, Rudo denies this because he wants to be first so he can punch whoever did this. This is just super uncomfortable as we know Tamzy is right there. Face to face with Amo, Tamzy's presence changes to a monstrous, overpowering feeling. All for her to be happy he's there to save her too? He hands her boots with a smile on his face, her crying tears of joy. Yeah, what the hell? She remembers nothing. By the moment, Tamzy gets even more mysterious and falls darker and darker. Yet everyone but us, the reader, is under his charade of kindness. We then see the backstory. After the group had left Amo, Tamzy had hidden a small rope which he was controlling from afar, spooling his rope into the angel that had captured Amo. This implies that he too was the angel that gave her the boots. And while a huge revelation that for some reason Tamzy has been controlling everything related to Amo, his following words and actions only get worse. Tamzy notes how wonderful a support power is. It can help in so many ways. He states people have misunderstood him, but he's clear on harboring no anger or resentment. He states he has something better than these emotions, something that will trail him for all of eternity. All of a sudden, he closes his eyes as he views Rudo in his father figure, stating it was beautiful as he recalls the moment he had killed Regto. The angel who killed Rudo's father was Tamzy, an act that was, quote, one of love. It's revealed he was recalling that moment as he looked upon a hospitalized Amo, viewing a horrific state as he thinks it'll improve his bond with Rudo further. He questions his next actions. Messing with Amo and killing Regto wasn't enough, but he still needs to get Rudo out of his shell. He sighs as he states he'll need to kill someone. He has to do it for love. There's no other choice. There's nothing to say about the earth-shattering realizations we just witnessed. Who knew that this guy with cool hair and calm words would end up as this? Tamzy is already terrifying and easily setting himself up to be end of series villain territory. But what is even worse, I keep saying it, is that at the moment only we know. Nobody in the story is aware yet. Tamzy has seemingly given us his motivations. He does everything out of love. He killed Rudo's father and has done beyond horrible things to Amo simply for Rudo. Now, love is a bit of a strange word to use, but it's very apparent this pertains to that darkness growing inside of Rudo, the one we've been seeing subtle hints at throughout the series. Tamzy is trying to obtain Rudo's darkness. He wants to bring out this darkness that's inside of Rudo. Also, remember how Tamzy was focused on when it said memories with loved ones aren't always happy? Strange. It's almost like he was, self-reflecting. It feels like everything's starting to come together when it comes to him. Though while of course we're getting more information, this only gives us more questions. How is Tamzy able to come to and from the spear? How does he even know of Rudo's darkness? What is he even gonna do if he exposes that darkness? How would he even plan to use that? We have no idea. I'd love to give you all the answers, but as the story continues, Tamzy only gets stranger. In the following chapter, we witness Amo finally waking up, her viewing the IV in her arm and becoming terrified. Notice how the tube is similar to a rope, just like Tamzy's vital instrument that had held her captive. While she can't remember for some strange reason, I'd like to assume this small detail is going to be part of Tamzy's eventual downfall. Speaking of him, as Amo cries out happy to be saved, he pops up to wonder who would do such a thing. Yeah, I really wonder who would do that. As if to confirm he's in the clear, Tamzy asks if she has any details about the kidnapper, her replying it was a long-haired woman. He smiles. It makes sense their memories are blurry. It's been rough after all. He then walks out of the room with a villainous smile, revealing he had used a vital instrument known as the Watchman book to change what she had seen. Meaning that the book Regto had in the very first chapter wasn't a normal book, rather a vital instrument, and Tamzy had stolen it after killing him. Yeah, not only is this a very dangerous object for a villain to have, one with the power to basically change memories, but it's sad to think Tamzy is using Rudo's father's object to further his quote, acts of love. Acts we know only want to delve Rudo deeper into darkness. Just, what a guy, man. Tamzy then curiously asks about how Rudo went to the information broker to inquire about the Watchmen series. Yet Rudo clamps up. Rudo is worried the Watchmen choker maker can hear everything they say, so no words can be told and Tamzy isn't allowed to know anything. Well, Tamzy isn't dumb and Rudo is honestly a horrible liar, so he knows something is up, inquiring about his next move. The conversation ends on the question if Rudo will chase after Amo's kidnapper or information about the spear, Tamzy telling him the hints might lurk closer than he thinks before saying goodnight. I really wonder who would be able to answer all of Rudo's questions. I really wonder, Tamzy. Interestingly enough, Rudo questions whether or not he could even tell Tamzy. To him, Tamzy is the definition of a good guy. But with this, he realizes he never told Tamzy he had asked about the Watchmen series. Tamzy just knew. Instead of realizing this is strange, how would Tamzy even know the Watchmen series? He just shrugs it off. Damn it, Rudo, you were so close. Speaking of close, in the following chapter it appears Corvvis, leader of the cleaners, might have suspicions of Tamzy. He confronts and stares our villain down for handing Amo her boots. While it was approved and allowed, I dare say this moment is some unexplained tension. Corvvis himself seems to be a man of reason and mysteriousness. I'd assume that if he knows Tamzy is up to something, he'd wait till it's concrete to say something. I'm only clear on this because in the following chapter, Rudo and Tamzy conveniently end up on their next mission together, it being pointed out that these orders are specifically from Corvvis. Perhaps he's aware Tamzy is obsessed with Rudo and wants to bait him into exposing himself. During this mission, Tamzy mostly sticks to the background, allowing Rudo to get the shine and helping when needed. We also get one of the funniest Tamzy panels here. When Rudo copies his move, he's pretty upset. Interestingly, when they team up and push back the trash beast, Tamzy notes how strong Rudo is getting, but calls it a waste, which is very odd to me. If he wants to draw out the darkness in Rudo, isn't getting stronger part of that? Things continue to be interesting as Rudo and Folo get into a fight. throwing punches as the trash beast is allowed to power up. Yet Tamzy, who's supposed to be there to help when needed, never stops this, just watches. I know his role here is to let Rudo learn through experience, but it's like he wants something bad to happen. And when Folo is indeed injured, something bad happening, well, he celebrates internally. This moment is especially terrifying, as we are privy to both sides of Tamzy at once. While before it's been either evil Tamzy or kind Tamzy, here it's like we watch him switch back and forth from these personalities, through internal Tamzy and external Tamzy. His mask tears like a page, and as we the reader peek through the mask, we see an ecstatic Tamzy at the idea of Folo's death. The fire Folo's passing lights will push Rudo further into the darkness. Anger makes for great fuel. With a psychotic smile on his face, he claps, all while the external Tamzy strikes down the trash beast with the strangest expression possible. Back to inside. His internal self is celebrating the show, eating popcorn, but is insanely disappointed when it's revealed Folo lived. He puts together Rudo had saved Folo through words alone, remarking that the power of friendship is so not what he was looking for. After the battle, it's highlighted how Rudo's first official mission went perfectly, and Tamzy states he can work with it. Yes, this panel is that peak meme, but with Tamzy. Urana is the GOAT for this. Urana is the GOAT in general. Tamzy states he wanted to find a catalyst to get Rudo back to his original role, referring to bringing his darkness out. But for now, it's beneficial if he lives normally. After all, the higher he flies, the more it'll hurt when he falls. Yeah, nothing to say. He'll literally try to hurt Rudo as much as possible. Interestingly, he states he wants to return Rudo to his original role. More credence to the fact that he somehow knows what Rudo's darkness is and what it looks like. It's very weird. Yet don't forget that it seemed like Tamzy was intentionally placed next to Rudo. While he stated it was to further his goals, I can't help but think Corvvis wanted them together to look out for him. This is pushed by one of the supporters noting how Tamzy seemed to be just watching the battle rather than helping. It would appear that maybe he's getting closer to actually being exposed. Though at the peak of his actions, manipulating Amo, dancing in front of her as if he didn't do it, taunting Rudo with his words, even trying to kill someone he held dear, Tamzy opts to take a leave of absence. Yes, you heard me right. Our secret mastermind who gets more wicked by the second has decided to take a break from his job in the cleaners. He walks to Corvvis' office, thinking of his actions up to now, ending it on the phrase, "Now it's time to prepare the sacrifice," all before taking a leave of absence. And that's where we leave off on Tamsy Cain's for now. Yeah, definitely not scary at all, especially considering it's been 20 plus chapters since we've seen him. Who knows what he could be up to right now? Tamzy is one big question mark in Gachiakuta. Even after 150 chapters, we know nothing about this guy. And even worse than the fact that we know nothing about him, nobody in the world knows of his actions. If I had to say, the best way I would describe Tamzy at this current point in the story is just, why? Why does he have those scars? His whole body is covered in them. Why does he know so much about the world of Gachiakuta? He can travel from the spear, seems to know Rudo's history, and can even use the Watchmen series. Finally, why does he want to sink Rudo into the darkness? He went as far as killing his father, kidnapping Amo, and even celebrating as Folo almost died. It has to be for a huge, crazy, unfathomable reason. Everything we're given creates a psychopathic, terrifying secret mastermind who is yet to even explain himself. This is what feels so wrong. Tamzy is the one who began the whole series with Regto's murder, pushed it along with Amo's kidnapping, and still interferes 100 plus chapters later. Gachiakuta is happening because of him, and we don't even have a why. I can't even explain how crazy that is. If you were to compare Tamzy to Zodil Typhon, the other big Gachiakuta villain, I would say they're scary for very different reasons. Zodil is very uncomfortable in presence, a dominating, angry aura that seeks destruction through rage and manipulation. Simply put, he wants to see the world burn. While Tamzy on the other hand is far from that simple. He seems to not care for destruction, anger, anything like that. But under his mask, we see that he'll cross any dark line for his one goal. Zodil's actions reflect the anger at the world that wronged him, but Tamzy seems to do it for fun. The only thing he gets a kick out of and is hellbent on is Rudo, providing acts of love in order to deepen the darkness. If you were to ask me, I think someone doing horrible things for fun is a lot more wicked than someone acting out of past trauma. One example I like, and something I think you really gotta consider, is that Zodil tried to sway Rudo. Even if it was more manipulative, he tried. While Tamzy is straight up doing it. There's no care in the world for those he murders. He does it all with a smile on his face. The reason simply being for Rudo. Everything considered, I would have no doubt saying Tamzy is a lot more scarier than Zodil. Tamzy is easily going to be a huge part of Gachiakuta's future. If he has already swayed the first 150 chapters, there's no doubt his actions, motivations, and choices won't sway the next 150. With how well he's been set up to now, his reveals of Villian being a bombshell nobody's seen coming, and his actions only amping up, now mentioning some sacrifice, I trust Urana will continue to blow our minds with this character. I have high confidence when I say that by the end of the series, Tamsy Cain will go down as one of the greatest villains of all time. Thank you so much for watching my second Gachiakuta video. As always, you can read Gachiakuta through Kei manga. I very much recommend you read it through official sources, as mangakas tend to suffer a lot from piracy, and this is actually a series that's very easy to read if you simply download an app. They let you read like 5 chapters a day. But other than that, what do you think about Tamsy Cain? What do you think he'll do in the future of Gachiakuta? How do you think the internet's gonna react when he does these things in the anime? Finally, last thing I want to say is, what would you think of a big Gachiakuta video? One where I explain the characters and everything like I did in this video, but for the entire series, all 150 chapters, one by one, in one big video. Obviously, a video like that takes a lot of time and effort, resources, etc. to make, so I just want to gauge it first. But that's about it. I'll see you next time. Thank you again for watching.